Hi, I'm Dustin Blyzeffer, climate and energy reporter at WyoFile, and we just published a story about the pending demise of the LaPrele Dam. So here's what's going on. The LaPrele Dam is located about 20 miles west of Douglas, and it was first constructed in 1909 with a life expectancy of about 50 years. It's still standing 116 years later, but not for long. The structure is riddled with cracks and has been determined to be at risk of catastrophic failure. So this past fall, the reservoir behind the dam was drained to relieve pressure on the structure, and the state issued a breach order, which means that right now crews are preparing to take the first steps to breach the dam. The situation is an obvious hardship for the ranchers who rely on the dam for irrigation, and many say it's also indicative of an aging infrastructure in the United States that threatens the economy, including Wyoming's agricultural communities. Although officials at both the federal and state levels hope to cobble together enough money to build a replacement dam, those efforts face a lot of skepticism about whether it's an appropriate use of taxpayer dollars. I recently traveled to the LaPrele Dam to visit with some local irrigators about the issue, and here's what rancher Casey Darr had to say.
This district took a dam that had a lifespan of 50 years, and we got 114 years out of it with no state involvement. I personally feel that this district has done a phenomenal job of taking care of this dam and taking care of the community through what this dam provides. And back to my original statement, we in 1909, they built this dam, and this community has grown and developed from this. The economical impact that this dam has provided for this community far exceeds the amount of money that we're getting from the state. And we are extremely grateful for their help, because we honestly can't do it without them. But at the same time, the benefits far outweigh the cons of putting that money into this infrastructure, in my opinion.
So it'll take about 5 years before a replacement dam is completed. In the meantime, LaPrele irrigators will receive less water for their operations, which means less income and more expenses. And without a dam, they'll be at risk for major flooding. Here's Casey Darr again.
We're going to have direct flow. We're still trying to figure out how to do that fairly and evenly throughout the irrigators, but people are going to be able to irrigate for maybe a couple weeks, and then you're going to get what you get, and when it's gone, there's nothing we can do about it because we have no storage capacity. So a lot of us are hoping that if we have a wet spring, we might be able to get one cutting of hay, possibly, to keep everybody going. If we don't get any spring runoff, then we're going to be buying a lot of hay and trucking it in. That's the only viable option that I think that I personally see.
Now, there's still a lot of moving parts with this issue. It could cost as much as $182 million to take down the old dam and build a new one. Right now in Cheyenne, lawmakers are debating whether to add $60 million to bring Wyoming's total contribution to $90 million, and they hope the feds, which have already committed about $63 million, will cover the rest. You can learn more at WyoFile.com, and thanks for reading.